All right, today we're going to talk about something that sent a massive shockwave through the digital world. We're going to break down the day a single company's glitch pretty much brought the internet to its knees. Let's dig into what this huge cloud outage tells us about the web we rely on, every single day.
You know that feeling, right? You're about to stream a movie, you're trying to order some food, maybe you're rushing to meet a deadline, and then, poof, nothing works. It honestly feels like someone, somewhere, just tripped over the main power cord for the entire internet.
Well, on October 20th, 2025, that feeling, it wasn't just in your head. For literally millions of people and thousands of companies all around the world, the internet did break. A single point of failure created a worldwide digital standstill.
And the impact was, well, it was huge. This wasn't just a couple of websites going down for a few minutes. The outage created this massive ripple effect that touched pretty much every single corner of our digital lives.
I mean, just look at this list. You want to watch something on Disney Plus? Nope. Send a message on Snapchat? Forget it. Trying to work on Canva? Or even just order from the McDonald's app? It all went dark. Gamers on Roblox and Fortnite were kicked out. Crypto traders on Coinbase were locked out. Even government websites were hit. It was a digital domino effect playing out in real time.
So of course, companies were scrambling. The design tool Canva just put it out there totally blunt. The problem wasn't with them, it was with the very foundation their entire service was built on.
And here's the real kicker. The outage was so bad, it even crippled Amazon itself. Yeah, their warehouses, their delivery operations, they just ground to a halt. Even their internal apps for employee payroll went down. The very company at the center of the outage couldn't escape its own technical meltdown.
So what on earth actually happened? How does something like this even happen? Let's peel back the layers a bit and look at the technical glitch that caused all this chaos.
For Amazon's engineers, this day started in the middle of the night. The first red flag went up just after 3 a.m. Eastern Time. By 5 a.m., they were confirming a major operational issue that was hitting over 70 of their services. And even though they managed to fix the initial problem pretty fast, it took them until almost 7 p.m. that evening to get everything back to normal. You can just imagine what a long, stressful day that was for the people keeping the internet's backbone running.
So, the investigation basically boiled down to two culprits. Now, these are terms you might not hear every day, but they are absolutely essential to how the internet works. DynamoDB and DNS. Think of them as the really important but totally unseen plumbing of the internet.
First up, let's talk about DynamoDB. IT professor Mike Chappell calls it one of the main record keepers of the modern internet. And that's a perfect way to put it. It's this huge database service that basically holds all the information that countless apps need to work, everything from your social media feed to what's in your online shopping cart.
And then you've got DNS, which stands for Domain Name System. The classic analogy is still the best. It's the internet's phone book. When you type a website name into your browser, DNS is the thing that looks up the right number, the IP address, so your computer knows where to go. So when DNS fails, it's like every single entry in that phone book just got erased.
Okay, so a database and a digital phone book broke, but why on earth did that take down half the internet? Well, that question leads us straight to the company at the heart of all this, Amazon, and its absolutely massive cloud kingdom.
See, the reason the impact was so crazy widespread is because millions of companies, from tiny little startups all the way up to government agencies, they don't run their own physical servers in a closet anymore. Instead, they just rent all their computing power, their storage, everything, from Amazon Web Services or AWS.
So, just how big of a deal is AWS? Well, you've got other huge players in the game for sure, like Microsoft and Google, but when it comes to cloud computing, Amazon is still the undisputed king of the hill.
And this number right here is the whole story. About 1/3. A third of the entire global cloud infrastructure market is controlled by Amazon. And that's it. That's why when AWS has a bad day, a huge chunk of the internet has a bad day right along with it. An event like this really forces you to zoom out and think about the systems we've all built. It's a pretty stark reminder of just how fragile our digital world can actually be.
And let's be clear, this outage was not some freak one-in-a-million accident. Nope, it's actually part of a growing and honestly kind of worrying pattern.
These huge outages are becoming, well, almost normal. AWS itself had major problems back in 2021 and 2023. Google Cloud has had its share of issues. And remember when a security update from a company called CrowdStrike caused global chaos for Microsoft systems? This isn't just an Amazon problem, it's an industry-wide problem.
There's this quote from Professor Mike Chappell that just perfectly nails the big takeaway here. He said, "When a major cloud provider sneezes, the internet catches a cold." Our digital world is so interconnected, so dependent on just a few giant companies, that one little mistake can cause a global pandemic of outages.
And that really leaves us with one last, really important question. We've built this incredibly convenient world where everything is just a click away, and it's all running on these super efficient, massive platforms. But as we keep centralizing more and more of our digital lives onto just a handful of tech giants, you have to ask yourself, what's the real price we're paying for all this convenience? And what happens when that bill finally comes due?